Okay, so it's day 16, January 16th, and we're going to continue with our Through the Bible in 1 Year. This is in chronological order in which its stories and events occurred, so it's going to be arranged a little differently than how it is in the Bible. But today, we just finished up Job yesterday, and today we're starting Genesis chapter 12 through 15. Well, let's go over there. Try to get it where you can see it. So, the call of Abram. Now the Lord said to Abram, "Go from your country and your kindred and your father's house to the land that I will show you, and I will make you a great nation. And I will bless you and make your name great, so that you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and him who dishonors you I will curse, and you and all the families of the earth shall be blessed." Okay? So Abram went, as the Lord told him. And Lot went with him. Recognize the name Lot? Abram was 75 years old when he departed from Haran, and Abram took Sarah his wife, and Lot his brother's son, and all their possessions that they had gathered, and the people that they had acquired in Haran, and they set out to go to the land of Canaan. When they came to the land of Canaan, which is now, I think, Gaza, by the way, Abram passed through the land to the place at Shechem, to the oak of Moreh. At that time, the Canaanites were in the land. I got lost here. Then the Lord appeared to Abram and said, "To your offspring I will give you this land." So he built there an altar to the Lord, who had appeared to him. From there he moved to the hill country on the east of Bethel, and pitched his tent. And Bethel on the west, and Ai and on the east. And there he built an altar to the Lord, and called upon the name of the Lord. And Abram journeyed on, still going toward Negeb. Abram is Sire in Egypt. Now there was a famine in the land, so Abram went down to Egypt to sojourn there, for the famine was severe in the land. When he was about to enter Egypt, he said to Sarah his wife, "I know that you are a woman beautiful in appearance, and when the Egyptians see you, they will say, 'This is his wife.' Then they will kill me, but they will let you live. So you are my sister, that it may go well with me because of you, and that my life may be spared for your sake." When Abram entered Egypt, the Egyptians saw that the woman was very beautiful. And when the princes and Pharaoh saw her, they praised her to Pharaoh, and the woman was taken to Pharaoh's house. And for her sake he dealt well with Abram. And he had sheep, oxen, male donkeys, male servants, female donkeys, and camels. Wow. But the Lord afflicted Pharaoh and his house with great plagues because of Sarai, Abram's wife. So Pharaoh called Abram and said, "What is this you have done to me? Why did you not tell me that she was your wife? Why did you say she's my sister, so that I took her for my wife? And now then, here is your wife. Take her and go." And Pharaoh gave men orders concerning him, and they sent him away with his wife and all that he had. Oh, they sent him packing. Abram and Lot separate. So Abram went up from Egypt, he and his wife and all that he had, and Lot with him, into Negeb. Now Abram was very rich in livestock, in silver and in gold, and he journeyed on from Negeb as far as Bethel, to the place where his tent had been at the beginning, between Bethel and Ai, wherever that is, to the place where he had made an altar at the first. And there Abram called upon the name of the Lord, and Lot went with Abram, who went with Abram, also had flocks and herds and tents, so that the land could not support both of them dwelling together, for their possessions were so great they could not dwell together. Wow. And there was strife between the herdsmen of Abram's livestock and herdsmen of Lot's livestock. At that time the Canaanites and the Perizzites were dwelling in the land. Then Abram said to Lot, "Let there be no strife between you and me, and between your herdsmen and my herdsmen, for we are kinsmen. Is not the whole land before you? Separate yourself from me. If you take the left land, then I will go right, or if you take the right land, then I will go left." Lot lifted up his eyes and saw that the Jordan Valley was well watered everywhere, in the garden, like the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt in the direction of Zoar. This was before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. So Lot chose for himself all the Jordan Valley, and Lot journeyed east. Thus they separated from each other. Abram settled in the land of Canaan, while Lot settled among the cities of the valley, and moved his tent as far as Sodom. Now the men of Sodom were wicked, great sinners against the Lord. The Lord said to Abram, after Lot had separated from him, Lift up your eyes and look from the place where you are, northward and southward and eastward and westward, for all the land you see I will give you, and to your offspring forever. I will make your offspring as the dust of the earth, so that if one can count the dust of the earth, your offspring also can be counted. Arise, walk through the length and the breadth of the land, and I will give it to you. So Abram moved his tent and came to settle by the oaks of Mamre, which are at Hebron, and there he built an altar to the Lord. Abram rescues Lot. In the days of Amraphel, king of Shinar, Arioch, king of Elazar, Chardolomer, I hate these names, king of Elam, and Tidal, king of Goim, these kings made war with Bera, king of Sodom, Berish, king of Gomorrah, Shinhab, king of Aham, Shemer, king of Lobam, and the king of Bela, that is Zor. And all these joined forces in the valley of Siddim, that is the Salt Sea. 12 years they had served that person, but in the 13th year they rebelled. In the 14th year, Chedorlaomer and the kings who were with him came and defeated the Rephaim and Asherah, Kiram, and Zuim, and Ham, and Enem, and Shiva, and Ahavad, and Karam, words I can't pronounce, and the Herites on their hill country of Seir as far as El-Paran on the border of the wilderness. Then they turned back and came to En-Mephish, that is Kedesh. They should just say that. And defeated all the country of the Amalekites, and also the Amorites, who were dwelling in Harazon Tamar. Then the king of Sodom and the king of Gomorrah, the king of Adam and the kingdom of Zedom and the king of Zedad, went out and joined battle in the valley of Siddim with Chedorlaomer, king of Elam, Tidal, king of Gomer, king of Bedan, every king of Ezra, 4 kings against 5. Now the valley Siddim was full of bitumen pits, and as the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled, some fell into them, and the rest fled to the hill country. So the enemy took all the possessions of Sodom and Gomorrah and all their provisions and went their way. They also took Lot, the son of Abram's brother, who was dwelling in Sodom, and his possessions, and went their way. The one who had escaped came and told Abram the Hebrew, who was living in the oaks of Mamre, the Amorite brother of his sister. And are these? I'm just skipping over those names I can't pronounce, okay? These were allies of Abram. When Abram heard that his kinsman had been taken captive, he led forth his trained men born of his house, 318 of them, and went in pursuit as far as Dan. He divided his forces against them by night, he and his servants, and defeated them and pursued them to Hobah, north of Damascus. Then he brought back all the possessions, and also brought back his kinsman Lot with his possessions and the woman and the people. Abram blessed by Melchizedek. I've heard that name before. After his return from the defeat of Chedorlaomer and the kings who were with him, the king of Sodom went out to meet him at the valley of Sheba, that is the king's valley. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine. He was a priest of God Most High. And he blessed him and said, Blessed be Abram by God Most High, possessor of heaven and earth, and blessed be God Most High, who has delivered your enemies into your hand. And Abram gave him 1/10 of everything. And the king of Sodom said to Abram, Give me the persons, but take the goods for yourself. But Abram said to the king of Sodom, I have lifted my hand to the Lord God Most High, possessor of heaven and earth, that I would not take a thread or a sandal strap or anything else that is yours, lest you say, I have made Abram rich. I will take nothing but what the young men have eaten, and the share of the men who went with me. Let Aner, Eshel, and Beba take their share. Those people. God's covenant with Abram. After these things, the word of the Lord came to Abram in a vision. Fear not, Abram, I am your shield, and your reward shall be very great. But Abram said, O Lord God, what will you give me? For I continue childless, and the heir of my house is Eleazar of Damascus. And Abram said, Behold, you have given me no offspring, and a member of my household will be my heir. And behold, the word of the Lord came to him. This man shall not be your heir, your very own son shall be your heir. And he brought him outside and said, Look toward heaven, the number of stars. If you are able to number them, then he said to them, So shall your offspring be. And he believed the Lord and counted it to him as righteousness. You remember, he's like 90, so. And he said to him, I am the Lord who brought you out of Ur and the Chaldeans and gave you the land to possess. But he said, O Lord God, how am I to know that I shall possess it? He said to him, Bring me a heifer 3 years old, a female goat 3 years old, a ram 3 years old, and a turtle dove and a young pigeon. And he brought him all these, cut them in half, and laid each half over against the other. But he did not cut the birds in half. And when the birds of prey came down on the carcasses, Abram drove them away. As the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell on Abram, and behold, dreadful and great darkness fell upon him. Then the Lord said to Abram, Know for certain that your offspring will be sojourners in the land that is not theirs, and will be servants there, and they will be afflicted for 400 years. Now he's talking about Egypt, right? But I will bring judgment on the nation that they serve, and afterward they shall come out with great possessions. As for you, you shall go to your fathers in peace, and you shall be buried in a good old age. And they shall come back here in the 4th generation, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet complete. When the sun had gone down and it was dark, behold, a smoking firepot and a flaming torch passed between these pieces. On that day the Lord made a covenant with Abram, saying, To your offspring I give this land from the river of Egypt to the great river, the river Euphrates, the land of the Canaanites, the Kenites, the Cadmonites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Rephaim, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Girgashites, and the Jebusites. Wow. So, Abram's moving all over the place. And that's 12 through 15. It's an interesting story. Haven't gotten to Sodom and Gomorrah yet, but I imagine we will get there pretty soon. So, yeah. Sarah and Hagar, Abram the covenant of circumcision, Isaac's birth promised. Yeah, we're still on intercedes for Sodom. So that's tomorrow, but today we covered Genesis 12 through 15, a new story. So there you have it. That's day 16. We will continue this all year until we're completely finished with the Bible on December 31st. So, there you have it. Keep studying. Have a good day. Watch yesterday's if you missed it. It was really interesting. Okay, about the end of Job and God speaking. I got a lot out of that. So, but till next time, be good. Stay humble. See ya.